Hello, everyone. We are in the midst of 40 days of Lent. This is week number 3, and we're kind of moving into a week that I really find appealing for myself, simplifying the mind. And I'm here with Paula Huston, and she just told me that I didn't need to do this week, but I needed to do 2 of last week. So if I look unkempt to you, it's because I'm wearing my oldest clothes and I haven't bathed and I've slept on the floor last night. Not really, but it's really important. What you just said to me is really important. That I find these things, spending a day without TV. Now I'm not going to spending a day without email, Facebook, other social networking things. I would have a little trouble with my cell phone, giving it up. But these are the things that I long for. So what Paula said to me earlier was, well, those things probably aren't, probably don't need to do those things. Talk about that for a second. If I find an exercise like, oh, finally, I don't have to talk for an hour or whatever that exercise is, that tells me something about myself too, though, doesn't it?
It tells you what you're longing for.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I'm kidding. You go ahead and have a fun week.
Right.
But keep it in mind. Keep in mind how you reacted to those exercises, because all of them would be the kinds of things you would do on retreat.
Yes.
And so it may be that what you really need to do at some point is to add, maybe you already do this, add regular periods of retreat into your life where you can really get into these practices at a deeper level.
I love that. And so when I'm thirsty, it's my body telling me, hey, have a glass of water.
Yes.
And that's not just, it's metaphorically speaking. When I'm thirsty for silence or to get away, and a lot of this has to do with my personality as really as an introvert. An extrovert's going to have a harder time with this one. Oh yeah,
very hard.
Right?
Yeah.
And so this one is a good one. Why did this one make it into the book for you, Simplifying the Mind?
The mind. Living in a high-stress world, the temptation for me was to always bring my mind down to some level of calm after a hard, stressful time, Even if the stress was up in my little studio hacking out a difficult chapter in a book, but I'd been at it for 5 or 6 hours, and then come back to the house and there's life waiting and dinner and all these kinds of things to take care of and people to talk to on the phone.
Right.
And so my default position was and still is often enough, to find a really good mini-series.
Yeah, right. Veg out.
Yeah, get to Downton Abbey or get to, because these are ways that the mind can go on autopilot and whatever. And so I started thinking about that. And we have this huge, vast array of places we can run with our stressed out, exhausted minds. Instead, maybe we should start looking at ways to do that kind of healing work with the mind that it's crying out for, like you say, you are, but do it through some of these traditional, Christian disciplines.
Right.
And rather than entertain the mind, bring the mind, you know what I'm saying? Bring the mind into a place of silence.
That just strikes a chord with me.
Yeah.
Rather than entertain your mind, let your mind rest.
Let your mind rest.
And not recreate.
Not recreate.
Wow.
Just like when we're tired, instead of drinking coffee, we should maybe take a nap.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. Yeah.
Instead of always trying to keep ourselves going at some level.
So I've added a 6th one in here.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Change your cell phone number and don't tell anyone. And that one goes on for a year.
There you go. No, that's good.
That's a good one. So funny, but simplifying the mind. This is week number 3. So my hope is that you will dive into these and embrace them and thoughtfully doing this so that you can learn more about yourself. This Lent, what we're doing is we're committing to practices that uncover secrets about who we are. Not so that we're ashamed of them or that we hide them, but so that we embrace them, deal with them, and become more fully who we were born to be. And we have Paula Huston to thank for this great tool. So week number 3, we thank you for helping us with this.
You're very welcome.